In the lush swamps and along the winding rivers of the southeast, Native American tribes developed sophisticated hunting and fishing techniques that allowed them to thrive for centuries. These ancient practices, passed down through generations, showcase the ingenuity and deep connection to the land that characterized these indigenous peoples. The southeastern tribes, such as the Choctaw and Cherokee, relied heavily on the bounty of the forests and waters. They used weirs, similar to those in the Northeast, to catch fish in streams and rivers. These ingenious structures were made from reeds and branches, guiding fish into enclosed areas where they could be easily harvested. The Europeans who encountered these tribes were impressed by their fishing techniques, finding them more effective in the shallow sounds surrounding areas like Roanoke Island than their own methods. For hunting, tribes employ bows and arrows, often tipped with sharp stone points. They also use spears, sometimes enhanced with sharp points made from animal bones or antlers. Communal hunting was common, with tribes working together to drive game into areas where it could be more easily taken down. Deer, elk, black bears, beavers, squirrels, rabbits, otters, raccoons, and turkeys were among the many animals hunted in the southeast. In what is now Florida, the diet included turtles and alligators, reflecting the diverse wildlife of the region. Hunting was not just about gathering food. It was also deeply spiritual and culturally significant. For the Cherokee, hunting was an act embedded with deep spiritual meaning. They viewed animals as sacred beings with whom they shared the earth. Consequently, the act of hunting was approached with a sense of respect and thanks toward the animals. This reverence manifested in various hunting rituals and practices. Before a hunt, the Cherokee often conducted rituals, asking for permission from the spirit of the animal, offering prayers of gratitude, and sometimes utilizing ceremonial items such as tobacco or food to honor the creatures they sought. Fishing also played a vital role in the sustenance of southeastern tribes. Situated near rivers and streams that teemed with fish, the Cherokee utilized innovative fishing methods. Techniques varied depending on water bodies. In rivers, they employed fish traps and spears, while in still waters, they relied on nets made from plant fibers. The Cherokee had a keen understanding of fish species and their habits, carefully timing their fishing efforts to align with the spawning cycles of various fish, thus ensuring a sustainable harvest. Fish held more than just culinary significance for the Cherokee. They also held cultural importance. Certain species were associated with different stories and myths within Cherokee folklore. For instance, the catfish and trout featured prominently in narratives that helped impart lessons about cooperation, respect, and the interconnectedness of life. The fish were seen not just as resources, but as rich narratives serving to strengthen the identity and values of the tribe. As with hunting, fishing was approached with an attitude of gratitude and ritual. Before a fishing outing, ceremonies often took place to honor the water and the fish, asking for safe passage and bountiful harvests. This deep interconnection was articulated in stories and songs that conveyed the importance of maintaining balance and harmony with nature, and how overfishing or disrespecting the gift of the land could bring ruin. Traditions of hunting and fishing served to reinforce community ties within southeastern cultures. These activities were communal, often involving groups of family members or members of the tribe working together to prepare for hunts or fishing expeditions. The passing of knowledge from elders to younger generations was an essential part of ensuring the tribe's survival skills were preserved. Rituals surrounding these activities not only serve practical purposes, but also reinforce social structures, transforming everyday actions into communal events that solidified bonds and shared identities. The southeastern tribe's approach to wildlife management reflects an ecological understanding that modern conservationists are increasingly recognizing. Rather than the exploitation typical in industrial societies, these tribes maintain delicate balances in their practices. Sustainable hunting and fishing practices ensured that populations were not depleted and that the ecosystem thrived. The tribe's perspective centered on stewardship, emphasizing respect for every living thing within their territory. Colonialism brought significant disruption to these hunting and fishing traditions. The forced removal of tribes from their ancestral lands, particularly during the 1830s under the Indian Removal Act, had devastating effects on their ability to practice traditional subsistence modes. The exoduses, such as the infamous Trail of Tears, decimated populations and forced many to adapt to new environments. Stripped of familiar territories and largely confined to less fertile lands, the southeastern tribes were challenged to maintain their cultural practices, including their historically rich hunting and fishing traditions. Despite these challenges, the southeastern tribes have shown resilience in preserving their hunting and fishing heritage. In contemporary times, tribal members engaged in hunting and fishing practices often aim to increase awareness and appreciation of their cultural significance. Modern hunters sometimes share insights from their elders about traditional methods and the philosophy behind them, which resonates with younger generations excited to reclaim aspects of their heritage. Additionally, legal recognition of tribal sovereignty has allowed southeastern tribes to assert rights over hunting and fishing within their designated territories, leading to legislative initiatives that support the revitalization of these traditions. Programs have been launched aiming to educate community members about sustainable practices and how to recreate traditional hunting and fishing methods in a manner congruent with modern ecological principles. As the world grapples with the realities of modern environmental challenges, the hunting and fishing traditions of southeastern Native American tribes offer vital lessons about interconnection, respect for nature, and sustainable practices. Through storytelling, rituals, and community engagement, these tribes continue to weave their rich heritage into a modern context, ensuring that the wisdom of their ancestors remains alive. Their deep-seated respect for the land and all its inhabitants fosters not only a collective identity, but also inspires a renewed commitment to living harmoniously with the earth. Ultimately, the hunting and fishing secrets of the Southeast Native American tribes represent a profound relationship with nature marked by respect, sustainability, and communal engagement. Through rituals, practical knowledge, and a deep understanding of ecology passed down through generations, these traditions reflect not just practices, but a view of the world where humans and nature coexist in a delicate balance. Preserving these practices is vital not only for the southeastern tribes, but also for the broader understanding of how indigenous wisdom can inform more sustainable futures. Fascinated by the wisdom of our ancestors, follow Adventure Seeker's Paradise for more incredible journeys into the past and present of indigenous cultures around the world.